In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In London, Ontario, the dedicated detectives who investigate these felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Salmon Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Salmon's victim unit, freeze!
As the Honorable Judge Taylor said. Docket number 316051, People versus Sleezy Salmon, on 2 counts for aggression and sexual coercion.
How does the defendant plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Thank you for showing up to jury duty, class of 4920. The fate of Sleezy Salmon is up to you. Prosecution, please begin.
All mothers want what's best for their offspring. My client wanted to mate with someone because that she felt that he had the qualities that would enhance the survivorship of her offspring. Namely, he was MHC dissimilar. But the defendant, however, beat her up, fertilized her eggs, without her consent.
Objection! What the heck is MHC?
I'm going to explain with a visual representation. Every cell in our body has a major histocompatibility complex, also referred to as an MHC. They take foreign antigens and present them to our protective immune cells, known as T cells, to elicit an immune response to destroy the infecting pathogen. Your Honor, I would like to call Dr. Sean Garner from the University of Western Ontario to the stand. Dr. Sean Garner, can you please explain to the people of the jury your qualifications on this matter?
For the last 7 years, I've been studying the mating behavior of Chinook salmon, and that makes me one of the foremost experts in this area available to this court.
So, Dr. Garner, please tell me, why do female salmon prefer MHC dissimilar mates?
If a female has offspring that are more MHC dissimilar, they can recognize a far greater range of pathogens than if they had identical or very similar MHC molecules.
But how can a female even know if a male is MHC similar or MHC dissimilar?
It's easy. It's by scent. Individuals release little bits that bind to the MHC molecules, and those are released in the urine and the sweat. So if you smell those, you can determine what MHC genotype an individual might have.
So now that we know that Sammy could detect that Sleazy was in fact MHC similar, will the defendant's harassment of my client lead to a decrease in immunity and genetic quality of her beloved offspring?
In my opinion, I would expect that her offspring will be of lower quality than if she was allowed to choose her mate freely.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I would like to call the defendant, Sleezy Salmon, to the stand as my first witness. So, Sleazy, could you describe the events that transpired between you and Sammy?
I was swimming around the breeding ground. I saw a beautiful salmon right in front of me lay her eggs. I did what any other male salmon would do, and I'd do it again. No regrets.
And do you think that there's anything wrong with the fact that my client now has a collapsed gill, a broken dorsal fin, and missing scales?
You win some, then you lose some.
No further questions, Your Honor.
But Dr. Gardner, is this male harassment of females a unique event, something you've never seen before?
No, it's surprisingly common.
Isn't it true that this sexual harassment is common in other species, such as fallow deer or guppies?
Objection! There's a salmon on trial here.
Overruled. This better be good, counselor.
But Dr. Gardner, is this true?
It is. It's seen in many species. Guppies, red deer, water striders. It's very widespread.
Would you consider the aggression of my client to be malicious in nature?
Honestly, no. Was it selfish? Absolutely.
Nothing further, Your Honor. I would like to call the victim, Sammi Salmon, to the stand as my second witness. So, Sammi, if you did not want to mate with my client, Sleezy Salmon, over here, why did you turn red, signaling your desire to mate, and deposit your eggs right in front of him? You could have delayed your spawning.
No, you have it all wrong. Those eggs weren't meant for Sleezy Salmon. I saw a handsome MHC dissimilar bachelor, and I laid my eggs for him, and the next thing I knew, I was being beat up.
Order in the court, or I'll hold you all in contempt! There are two sides to this story. Sleezy Salmon wanted to increase his own fitness, which is a natural behavior of males in salmon and in many other species. But Sammi wanted the best for her offspring, which would involve having an MHC dissimilar male fertilizing her eggs. Now it is time for you, people of the jury, to decide whether Sleezy Salmon is guilty or not guilty.
I was swimming around the breeding ground. I was. I was swimming around, breathing around, and I saw. Okay, everyone leave the room except.
Do it! Fuck.
1, 2, 3.
Swearing?
No swearing in the moot courtroom!
One more.
Okay.
Sammi, I know that you turned it on, but I'm not gonna stop.
Fertilize her eggs without her consent. Like this?
Thank you for showing up to Dirty. Fate of Sleezy Salmon.
Are we done?